So it seems like Pokimane is in a little bit of trouble whenever it comes to the whole Sykkuno situation, as she's actually given her kind of take and almost taken some shots at him, which has been pretty interesting to see. Now, if you don't know, Sykkuno has been away for a little bit now after, obviously he got caught, talking to a lot of different smaller VTubers whenever he had a girlfriend, and a lot of people were not so happy about that. Now, there's been a ton of drama and stuff surrounding it. And, obviously stuff about like meeting up and all of this kind of stuff. And again, you guys can go back and watch the videos that we made on it to have a little bit more detail in it. But essentially this caused him to go on hiatus, right? He ended up not streaming, of course, because, you're in a big drama. It was absolutely huge at the time. Now it seems like most recently he's actually come back to streaming, which we covered in the last video. He came back, he had 10,000 viewers, and you can see he's lost quite a lot of followers. He lost 4.8 thousand on his first stream, and on his second stream he lost 4.7 thousand, which again is pretty crazy. But you can see the first stream, whenever he came back, he had about 10,000 viewers. Then people got a little bit bored, and then they just like kind of all left, right? And then it's down to 2K, back to his regular kind of viewership, right? Same with this one as well. People a little bit interested maybe that he's back, and then just it's back to normal, right? So again, that's what essentially has been going on, and I don't think he's really found any newfound audience or anything from this, because you can see obviously he was extremely popular back in 2021 with like averaging almost 20 to 50,000 views at one point, and now he's obviously gone down to about 2 to 1K. And yeah, he's around about 3K now just because of the drama and everything that's been going on. But, I'm sure it probably will go back to around about the same, right? And, well, recently, Pokimane actually went live and talked a little bit about the Sykkuno stuff, which obviously, here is the clip. A lot of people have been very interested in it, and, it's very interesting to hear what she has to say.
Actually, speaking of opinions, there is one thing I'm willing to share my opinion on. I saw Sykkuno's back after a month and a half. I've spent longer getting over situationships. I'm not joking. He said 3 sentences, few week vacation. I'm good. God bless. God bless. Don't worry, guys. No, that's all I'll say. I wanna feel your body run.
So yeah, that's essentially what she had to say about the Sykkuno stuff. Now, obviously, I think the first point that she makes, obviously talking about the fact that it's only been a month, right? She's referring to the fact that, obviously the message that he put out with his girlfriend was on April 16th. They said that they're working on things and whatever. And then he came back, like a couple months later, right? Of course, he came back on the 4th of June, sorry. So yeah, it's about a month, just a bit over a month, maybe like a month and a half. Which again, obviously to some people is just a short little holiday, right? And again, I do think there is a lot of questions whenever people say, is a month really long enough to kind of learn from exactly what has gone on? We don't know. But of course, he said in his response that, him and his girlfriend had like figured things out and whatever, and they felt like things were normal, and that he wasn't going to go live again until he felt like it was normal. So yeah, but I mean, a lot of people would argue that maybe, it's a little bit too quick to come back or whatever, which again, I also think is fair enough, right? And I think Pokimane is fair enough in saying like, a month is a little bit of a short time, right? But the thing that I think a lot of people are annoyed at is more so whenever she involves herself in it. Because then she goes on to say she spent longer getting over situationships. It's like, okay, bro. Like, this is the problem that a lot of people have with Pokimane, is the fact that she constantly makes it about herself, right? No matter the situation, no matter what is going on, it's always about me, and not about, the actual situation at hand, right? And obviously a lot of people have been discussing it. WestJet obviously says, anyone who isn't a full narcissist in her financial position would just quit the internet. Dealing with dwindling numbers every stream gotta hurt her massive ego. Which, yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Saying, wasn't she friends with a murderer? TikTok, obviously referring to David, saying Pokimane is kind of sad to see these days. Tries to be cool, but just gives a friend through alcoholic auntie vibes. That's crazy. So he's not getting over anything. He spent time in private repairing his relationships and working on himself, and then came back when he's mentally ready for streams. If you're pressed that it only took him 1.5 months to get to a better place, I'm sorry, but that says more about you. And then obviously, yeah, Pokimane is the living embodiment of this meme. Every single time she opens her mouth, get in there and make it about you. And say, God, she's so insufferable. Unpopular opinion. People need to learn how to mind their own business, right? And yeah, obviously that is a very public like statement about Sykkuno, obviously with him being back and everything. And a lot of people, yeah, are pretty interested by this. And what she wants is for him to be offline long enough that it ruins his streamer career for those who didn't catch it. So the main takeaway from the Sykkuno situation is don't sleep with people you barely know the first time when you meet them, and also don't do it if you're in a relationship. By the way, like what? If you actually want a real relationship, practice self-control, get to know someone personally first, build a genuine connection, which is true, but obviously as well, don't do it while you're in a relationship. Don't let money, fame, or cloud your judgment. I've met so many people in this space who are so full of blank, so many who use and abuse anyone while pretending to be virtuous and morally righteous. Don't be naive, this place will burn you in a million different ways. Saying same girl who said nothing about her girlfriend sleeping with minors, but she has the same opinion on Sykkuno doing things with adults, but alright. Obviously I said, yeah, somehow Pokimane can make a good point, but still sounds so insufferable saying it, which I do think, you know, is 100% true. Obviously they talk about the fact that there's some F1 drama as well, as described. They say, yeah, for F1 drama. She also has been under some fire as well recently over the fact that she went to Monaco. She went to the Monaco Grand Prix, and obviously it's notoriously a very expensive place to go to. It's expensive, not just the tickets, but as in like the accommodation, the food, and everything there, right? It's expensive. You got to be pretty rich to go, or you got to save up a lot of money to go. Yeah, she obviously ended up going, and obviously this comes straight after, well, I say straight after, this comes after a clip of her saying eat the rich, which obviously was with a clip with Jason the Ween, where he essentially said, wait, but aren't you the rich? Which obviously he was 100% right. And obviously people now bring this clip up to her every time she goes and does something rich people do, because she is rich and she's saying eat the rich. So what, should we eat herself? Like should she eat herself or what? Like I don't know. Like again, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, of course, a lot of people have been calling that out, because it is kind of contradictory, because she says to eat the rich, and she's rich, but also she's doing rich people things, right? It's one thing to be rich and saying it, but it's also one thing to be indulging in the same things that rich people do, while saying it at the same time as well. Because you could be rich and maybe give all your money away to charity or whatever and don't do anything, you know, you live in a pretty modest place or whatever. But no, that's not the case, right? She's actually like genuinely just spending it and, you know, living like a rich person while saying she doesn't like rich people, which is crazy. They mid-30s talking about situationships. It's so over. You should be Pokimane's friend, because one day inevitably this will be you. Which obviously, yeah, obviously a lot of people are not so happy about this response, saying nothing like doing a little dance before dropping an L. Said, ooh, if my friend did this, I'd air their shit out. Which again, yeah, it's 100% true, right? If I was Sykkuno seeing this, bro, I'd be so mad, right? You know, because of course, did Pokimane really need to say anything about it? Not really, to be honest, right? You know, the initial reactions to whenever the first situation did come out, I think was fair enough, because all of their friends and whatever, they got to like address it so people don't like associate them with him or whatever. Sure, right, whatever, they're the saving face. That's fine. But like afterwards, whenever he comes back and then she makes this comment, it's just like, was it really necessary? You know, it probably would have been better just not to talk about him at all, right? Even if you do feel that way, and you don't want to be friends with him. I think it's just, yeah, one of those things where everybody just sees it as like making it about you, right? And that is really the problem at the end of the day, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, that is essentially everything to do with this Pokimane Sykkuno situation. It'll be interesting to see if Sykkuno does respond to that. He probably won't, because he probably wants to avoid all of the drama altogether, right? But, you know, as I said, if I was him, I'd be getting ready to prepare some little Google Docs, you know, of anything that I had on her. Because, again, you know, the amount that, you know, that she's kind of caused with this has been pretty crazy, right? But yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. So yeah.